Hi everyone, welcome back to Get Ready with me, Louise. So today we're going to be going into, once again, the 6-pan palettes by Pat McGrath. And I really enjoyed this one. I wasn't for sure how I would feel about revisiting some of these, but this one I liked, and I liked the look that I created. Now, this one is called Mothership Subliminal Platinum Bronze. Now, let me let you know that I don't know much about Pat McGrath in the beginning collections. I own them, but I think she was phasing these out as I was getting into it, so I don't know like a year, or I know she launched three of the Mothership palettes right like that, but like I wasn't into makeup at that point. I didn't come into it until a couple years after that, I do believe. I'm not for sure. So I don't know how these particular palettes came into play. Whether this is supposed to be like, because it's got the same packaging. The reason I say this is because this has the same packaging as her first palette when it comes in the original box. Granted, all the motherships are long and black, but the package around it looked like this, the artwork, in which I did save. So I know a lot of people don't like this packaging, but I do. I think it's so pretty. I mean, it's artwork, really. It is so pretty, I think. And the back of it, of course, it has a sticker over that part of it, which doesn't really make sense, but okay, okay. Now these I did not find on her. It opens up, you unhook that little rubber band, and it opens up like this. And it has a mirror on this side, and then the 6 shades are in here with a little, thing to, and I really wish the big ones had this so that the little cardboards, we wouldn't lose them or have to hold on to them or find a spot for them type of thing, But this particular one is very cool toned, which her first palette was cool toned. So I don't know if this is like adjacent or not. It's not the same shades or anything like that. I already checked. Now, there are shades. I think she must have duplicate. I'm really going to have to go through these shades because I was sitting here looking, and one of them is called Ritualistic, but maybe it's Ritualistic Rose is the difference, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know if there is duplicates. I will have to look, though, if she's got any, within the actual shades. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first shade I'm going to go into is Ritualistic. And again, I don't see these palettes, like you can't get it at Sephora or on her website, so to say. So I don't know, like where if you can get them on Etsy or eBay or something, probably. But as far as like the actual websites, I don't see them. And also because of that, I couldn't even tell you the price to them, or what the price point was, and I don't remember what I paid for them because that was so long ago. But I also will say that this only has a 12-month shelf life, and I know I've had this for over 2 years, probably. I'm really thinking at least 2 years, over 2 years. It could be possibly closer to 3, to be honest. But these shades performed wonderfully. And I also decided to go to my Morphe brushes to use these, because I did want to touch base with you on that, because I do know, like, I've heard, I have not experienced it myself, but I've heard that, you should use certain brushes, or they're hard to work with. I've not had issues working with the Pat McGrath shadows, but I've seen people say stuff. So I have always just used the Refer brushes, or like my Wayne Goss, or something like that. And I thought I had used my Morphe brushes by Jaclyn Hill, that collection, with it, and I'm pretty sure I have. because I would have to assume they would work just like these ones. This one here is an M456, and I mean, it's applying it nicely. There's no patchiness, there's no, you know, nothing like that. So and I did, you know, just want to touch base on that, because I mean, brushes are expensive, so, and it's an investment that, you know, you may or may not be willing to work for, or want even. So I you know, if I can come up with something that's going to work that's cheaper, you know, because you pay so much for these palettes that you wouldn't think that you need a special brush considering the price point, but maybe you do. But I really enjoyed this palette, I'll be honest with you. And it kind of stinks that you can't get it no more, because I do think these would be nice little starter palettes for people just to see, you know. Granted, her special shades aren't in here, but I mean, that's not saying, really, that doesn't say much to me, because I mean, her special shades, they're amazing shades. Amazing. I'm not going to say they're not. But they are harder to work for. And as a beginner, they can be very hard and very messy. So, honestly, as a beginner, this is more of the palette you would want, technically. There's one matte and, I guess, like satin shades in it. And the satin, this particular shade here is a satin. And it performs wonderfully like a matte. And it's not really, you know, showing that much texture. Obviously, I have hooded lids and aging lids, downturned, everything else that you can think of, okay? I have it. I promise you, I have it. As you can see, you can't really even see anything. So, unless I'm, you know, showing it to you or looking down, something along those natures, that nature. But you can see that it does apply nicely. Okay, so then I'm going to go into Smoke and Mirrors. You know the sad part is, I haven't opened any of them, okay? I forgot even what these look like. Now, if you go off of the artwork on them, and it could be that that's what you go off of, to be honest with you, I'm not really for sure, then yeah, you can kind of see what shades are in it, to be honest. And I think that that's the case, but I'm not really for sure. But I will say that this kind of does match the artwork. I will say that. It really does kind of match the artwork on it. This is a M507. And I just picked Morphe brushes because I just feel like most people have them, from what I understand. However, I know most people don't like Morphe anymore for some reason or another, probably the code thing. But I don't think their brushes are bad, by no means. For the price point, I actually think they're pretty good. But, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But, I mean, I like all sorts of brushes, so. I like the Morphe. Love my Refer. Love my Wayne Goss. I have Sonia G. However, I've not used them. But I got them. I think I got almost every collection of them. Which sounds silly to say you've never used them, but I feel like that's when I graduate. Like, I'm never going to graduate to, like, makeup artist status, you know? But if I got to, like, a 5 in makeup, that's when I'd break them out, you know? Because I don't ever want to ruin them, so to say. And I don't, you know, maybe you can't ruin them, I don't know, but I don't want to take a chance either. just making sure I got both eyes the same. Oh, it's so hard to do this one eye at a time. I'm going to go into that first shade again, Ritualistic. Ooh, and run it on the lower lash line. Using a Morphe M574. M574. But I've really been impressed by this palette. And it's almost like this is the palette. If I was looking for cool tones, like, obviously, I don't know if I really want to take it anywhere considering you can't purchase it anymore. But I feel like the packaging and everything makes it feel so secure. I would take it traveling, you know? Okay. Then I'm going to take the second shade, which was Smoke and Mirrors. And I'm going to run it right on the lash line using an M431. And I didn't have any problems using these Morphe brushes. Not a one. So, I mean, it must be okay to use. Or maybe it's not so much, maybe it's just like how the bristles are in the brush, not necessarily real or natural or synthetic, but maybe like the size of a brush, you know. I'm not really for sure, to be honest, what the issues were. I can only tell you what I have issues with and what I know myself, and I've not had issues, so I don't know what that says, to be honest. Not really for sure. I've got, I think, I don't know, I might have to fix that. I think that was my primer creasing. Huh, I don't know. It wasn't shadow there because I didn't take it that far over, but there's something right there that's causing me some problems because I didn't go. See, I'm stopping here, but yet there's a line right over here. I don't know. I don't know what that is exactly. Interesting. I don't have it on this side. So. Okay, then I'm going to go into the shade Deep Velvet. And this is a M506. And I'm just going to tap it right on the outer portion here of my lid. And this is the only matte in this palette. I think I'm getting them to look the same, y'all. It takes time. I'm not gonna lie. And when I first started, I would watch these tutorials trying to figure it out. And one, I couldn't figure it out because they didn't have the same eye shape or the same issues as me. Because everybody's eye shape's a little different, you know? And then two, they cut out half of their blending, so when they're done, you're thinking you're done, but your eye looks nothing like their eye, which I know common sense, but you can't follow along with someone if they're cutting it out, you know what I mean? And I get that everybody don't have the time, but I don't know, I'm kind of like really iffy with that. So the next shade I'm going to go into is Telepathic Taupe, and I'm using a M1 124. I'm not going to wet it. And we're going to put it right on the lid. Again, I didn't get any fallout or anything using these shadows, which if I did, it'd be my fault. I didn't wet it, didn't do anything special with it or anything, but I didn't, so that's a good thing. Okay. I actually like this little brush here, M507. Oh shoot, what did I do? Look at me. Not paying attention. Anyway, I really like that brush. It's really small and pointed, like especially if you got hooded eyes. I personally, when I do my my looks, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like you're supposed to stick with like a certain brush brand. You don't have to though. I don't know why I feel like I do, but I do, and I feel like I have to stick with, like, if I'm going to use Morphe, then use Morphe brushes, you know, but you do not have to. Use whatever brush works for you, and if it's 8 different brands of one brush, then so be it. It's sort of like me with, like, matching my outfits to my eyeshadow looks. It's just something that I've gotten in my head and I can't get rid of, you know? Okay, so for inner corner, we're going to go into Platinize. And I'm actually going to use a Sigma brush for this, a Sigma E21. And I'm just going to put it right in my inner corner. Like that. And we're done. So I used all the shades but one, which is Sextrovert. It's the only shade I didn't use. And I do want to go through, maybe towards the end, I want to go through and write down every shade in the palettes and see if they overlap somewhere, if there's duplicates in them. Other than like the first 3, of course, there's that black shade in all 3 of them. What was that? Extreme Black. So I do know that's in the first 3 palettes. Yeah. But I would like to go through and see if there's any other shades that are overlapping in her palettes. So that'll be interesting. For my eyeliner, I used Charmer by ColourPop. It's purple, kind of brought the color of my shirt into the look, you know. And then we're going to do mascara. Clean all this up. Gotta wash these brushes. So actually the Morphe brushes did pretty good. I'll use them again tomorrow to make sure. Only because like I said, I wash my brushes every night. I don't reuse them, which I guess you could, but I don't know. I feel like I don't want an eye infection or anything like that. It scares me. So I just wash them to be safe. I'm going to go ahead and curl these lashes. Using, I think this is the Surratt, not the Referia. And then for our top mascara, I'm going to use my Clinique High Impact Mascara on the top. I'm giving it a whirl. That mascara I used yesterday was awful. Awful. I wouldn't recommend that to my worst enemy. Although I probably wouldn't recommend anything, you know, to my worst enemy, because I wouldn't talk to my worst enemy. But you know what I mean. Or maybe I was using it wrong. I don't know. But it did not work for me. I will say that much. Oh, I guess I'm really up in your face, aren't I? Well, I guess you get a really close look at the eye look, huh? I have to be up and close in a mirror to do this, or I will have it everywhere. And look at that. Can you all see that? Look at that gap. Like, what is that? Why is it? I swear, like, my eyelashes are falling off, I think. In like areas, because like, why is there a big gap there? I don't know. But I'm still using my Grande lash serum. Now, my other eye, I actually liked this mascara. It looked at pretty good. Well, not my favorite, but it wasn't bad. It is such a pretty day out today. It started out really rainy and icky out and gloomy. And it almost, you know, when it's like that, you just don't even want to get out of bed. Like, you just want to stay nice and warm in your bed. And it's kind of the way it was for me. And then, all of a sudden, the sun came out, was shining through the windows. And then birds are chirping, you probably hear that. But now I can hear the kids outside playing, which you can probably hear. And this is the kind of weather I like, where it's not hot, not cold. It's just nice. Like 70 degrees, 65 to 70. And you probably guessed I'm putting the Lancome on my bottom lashes. Okay. I don't know. Alright, so this is the final look using that palette, which was the Platinum Mothership Subliminal, which that was the name of the first palette. And this is, though, says Platinum Bronze. So, again, really liked this palette. Really did. Like, I really liked everything about it, to be honest with you. I'm sort of ready to play the rest of them. It's been so long. Because when you have so much, and I'm grateful, you know, but then again, I'm like, I'm silly because I bought it all. So it's like I didn't need to keep purchasing stuff when I have such great stuff already, but then better could come out, you know, and like I wanna know. But anyway, at least I'm going back now and using them to get a feel for them. And I've got 2 more years of playing with makeup as far as like practice to see how much I've grown in doing my makeup, or if my preferences have changed, because maybe that's it. Maybe I didn't like, because I wasn't into cool tones. I really was into warm tones when I first started. So maybe that's it. And now I like cool tones, so maybe that's playing a part in it. For my lips, I used the Lorac Goddess lip liner, and then just topped it with the Pat McGrath Secret Lover lip gloss. And I thought they worked really well together, these two. So, and then I think that's it, really. So this is the final eye look using that palette. again, I'm not a makeup artist, so this is just a beginner take on that palette. So I do believe if you're a beginner, you could definitely figure this. You can definitely not figure it out, but you wouldn't have issues with the palette. Let's just say it like that. And if you love cool tones, and if you combine the palette, then, you know, it might be worth it. But I'm excited, depending on the price point, because maybe now that it could be even higher because you can't get it anymore. I don't know how those things work, so. But, so tomorrow we'll go to another 6-pan palette. I don't know if these little ones match up with all the big ones. Like, I don't know how she did that. I really don't. So I'm going to try my best to figure it out and go in order of how they were released. But I can't promise anything because I really don't know. But that's all I got for you. I'll see you in my next one. And until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.